Hi everyone, and welcome back. It is another beautiful day. We've had up and down, cold, not cold, beautiful, but in northeastern Ohio we are having a gorgeous spring. I hope you all are too. I'm going to adjust us a skosh. And if you saw my Facebook announcement on the group today, you saw our fireplace before any of this happened. So today I'm explaining the design principles, why I believe this works so well. So we're going to have design school today. So first off, we're going to talk about, obviously, the color. I think color is one of our biggest allies in design. It also can be one of our biggest, I guess we could say, enemies. If we don't use enough, we use the wrong, we use too much, we overwhelm. But this room is big. It's all open. It's 2 stories. Therefore, using color carefully works in this space. And color works in small spaces too. So this, obviously, I dressed today for this post. And because these are some of my favorite colors, like Sound of Music, right? First of all, and I have a microphone today. I will have a Bluetooth next time or soon. It's hard being tethered, but I know that it's been hard to hear for some of you, and I appreciate your patience. So, first of all, in this wide open space, there was no boundary on this fireplace. And if you look at the picture on my website, the homepage, www.mitzibeach.com, you will see what I'm talking about. Anyway, this, I consider areas a composition. For you artists out there, and photographers and designers, but for regular people, a composition is taking a said space that has boundaries, hence the molding, and using it wisely. In this composition, we have, I'm going to change my mind on talking about the color first. We have 2 types of balance. We have asymmetrical balance and we have symmetrical balance. Asymmetrical is usually, it's not equal. Our bodies are symmetrically balanced. We have 2 eyes with a nose in between and ears. So just using the face, if you look at that, you can almost see exactly what I'm talking about. And nature is never wrong. If you look at most trees, they're balanced. Bushes, unless nature happens, as far as storms and whatnot. Asymmetrical balance is edgy often, contemporary sometimes, and also high drama. It can be very, very high drama. Symmetrical balance, when everything is even Steven, is more restful, often more traditional, and easier in a small, when you're working with a composition, as I am here. I don't believe asymmetrical balance would have worked here at all. So that's that. Now the color. I took the color from this painting, and I'll talk about the accessories in a minute. But in design, whenever there's repetition, it creates harmony. So you can see the colors in this oil painting, and I have repeated those in the accessories, all right, and in the paint color, so that we have yellows repeated, blues repeated, whites repeated, even the brass on the sconces, you can't see it, but in the framework, there is a a brass gold edging inside. So, hello, repetition, repetition, repetition. It makes it pleasing. And then we have, don't you love allergies in the spring? Hang on. Okay. And then we're going to talk about the color. A lot of time, again, color. A lot of people are afraid of color. And so I am just a proponent of using happy colors in the right places. They're not right for all places. So that's finishing color, okay? Scale. I have said it to you all before, and I'll say it probably many other times. I believe most people, even some designers, make the biggest mistake in scale and proportion. It's a challenge to achieve the correct balance. If you look at this, everything is in proportion. And when we did not have the molding around here, it just felt out of proportion. The painting, and there was not the sconces, there was not the molding. It just kind of floated up into Never Never Land. And so this created balance with the bottom of the fireplace. And so from floor to here, we have scale and proportion equal and well appointed. So if you look at the sconces, the size of those, and then filling in, so to speak, with the candlesticks, my Stratfordshire original dogs from England, my treasures, picked this in the blue vase. So you see where everything is in perfect scale, and that is pleasing. We also want to talk about texture. If you look, if you were here with me, you could see that we have smooth and kind of rough texture. So that creates interest. The oil painting, I know my artists out there, Linda and Amy, and some of you would tell me what this is called, but I forget. But it has heavy texture, the artist that did this. And then we have the smooth. And then we have the mirror, really smooth. And then the brass is kind of a matte finish. So we have a combination of textures, which is always pleasing. Last but not least, we'll talk about accessories. You know that for the 50 plus, I am a huge proponent of treasures. And I'm not a proponent of going out and just buying stuff to fill in space. I think it's important to wait and find the right thing rather than fill everything up. That's my philosophy, you all. This is a perfect example. The only thing that has no meaning are the sconces, and I looked hard for those. But, and a word about those, FYI, I found them on Wayfair, but those candles are the fake, can't remember the name of them, they're LED, and so at night you can imagine how pretty that looks. But let's start with the oil painting. Excuse me. We have everything in bloom here now. And I mean everything. It's pretty, but I lose my voice. I'm so sorry. So, this painting, a couple years ago, we had our 50th wedding anniversary. Rented a big house in Estes Park, Colorado for all the kids and grandchildren, 17 of our immediate family. And we were doing one of the adventure outings, and we were in some kind of park. Anyway, they had a visitor center with local artists. So upstairs, I'm moseying around, and I think Katie, my daughter-in-law, was with me. And, well, I'm sure she was. And so I spotted this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. And we were looking for something special for that from that anniversary trip, because it was, you know, a major biggie. And this is it. And you know what the name of this painting is? Church in the Woods. I mean, this is like got our name on it. The two most important things to Bob and I, faith and family. We were with family. This is the church in the woods. Oh, so cool. And then the dogs are a treasure of mine. When I was working at a really high level, really authentic antiques in Wichita, Kansas, used to be called the Uncommon Market. And I spent forever when the crates would come in from England, some things from France. We spent forever with brie wax and filling with wax, but anyway, that's from there. And then these yellow candlestick holders are from a shop here called the Stone Trough in Salem, Ohio. And would you believe I bought those when I was here visiting to my sister Kim, probably, I don't know, 5 years ago. And we drove from Kansas to Ohio visiting, had these with me, drove them back, used them. If you look back on some of my things, you'll see these candlesticks in our Cypress, Wichita house. And then in deciding what could or wanted to come here in our downsizing, these obviously made the trip because they're hard to find. So I know exactly, and they have a story. So everything, and this vase I bought in Birmingham, Alabama with my friend Joanna Meyer, one of my dearest, longest, closest friends. And so there you have it. It has a history, and it's also, I think, beautiful. So this is it for today. I just wanted to do a fun post because last time was serious, and I'd like to shake it up so you all never know what's going to be on our post. And so that's it. I believe this will mean more if you go back and look at my homepage and see the difference. Okay? Love you all. Have a great week. And remember, we do more for ourselves so that we can be more for others. Bye-bye, you all.